Good morning, Retro Biker here. We're out today on the new Triumph Tiger 800 XRT. Still running it in at the moment. What have we done? 239 miles. We're down on Romney Marsh, just having a little ride to put some miles on. Need to break the 300 mile mark before we get home, which we should do comfortably. She's a very comfortable machine to ride, very smooth, very manageable, handles nicely. Not able to wind her up too much at the moment. We've got a 4,500 RPM limit at the moment, but she still goes quite adequately even at that. And I hope by the time I get home we'll have another 1,500 RPM on that. I think we got up to 6,000 RPM at 300 miles, but I'm not 100% sure about that. It's not a bad day. Air temperature 9.5 degrees. Roads are fairly dry. Excuse me. So we're making the most of it before the snow comes again tomorrow. There's one of the stations for the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch Railway. Dymchurch Station. This being Dymchurch, of course. So we're going to head down through New Romney to Brenzett, and then go back on the A2060 to Ashford. Make our way home from there. We should comfortably break the 300 mile barrier. So just as the test bike was, it's got a very silky smooth creamy engine, a lovely slick positive gear change. I still think, I haven't done it yet, but I still think I'll benefit from putting the ROX risers on and raising the bars and bringing them back just a touch. So the new sat-nav position isn't ideal, but it's adequate. It'll do for the time being until the aftermarket comes up with something to put above the main dash. So as it's only a temporary measure, I've put a plug on the lead and we've got it plugged into the front socket to power it. We've got an electronic Scott oiler on here, of course. I don't know whether you can see that. Keep the chain looped. Oh, excuse me. Take away some of the worries when we're touring. Getting a little bit cloudier down this way. You can tell because the screen has gone into, what do you call that, low contrast mode. When the sun comes out, it turns white. I'm finding it a very nice dash, very easy to read, very easy to access all the bits you want using this 5-way joystick, which I'm now getting used to. Excuse me. We've got the snow coming again tomorrow, so I want to get home in time today to give it a good wash. I've been through a bit of crap, I've got it dirty. Give it a good wash and dry when I get home, then put it away for the weekend while the snow passes through, and back out again next week. We've got the first service, 500-mile service, booked for a week on Tuesday. We'll get that mileage in comfortably. We might just have to rein it in a little bit. So over the 220-ish, 30-ish miles that I've done, I've averaged 62.2 miles to the gallon, but had a 3,000 RPM rev limit for the first 100 miles, and now we're on a 4,500 RPM limit up to the 300 mile mark. So we've not actually been able to give it any beans, and obviously the fuel consumption will suffer when I do. I won't be riding it like this very much of the time. At the moment with this limit it cruises at 65 on the motorway, which is far from ideal. That extra 5 miles an hour makes all the difference. Had it a few days, but this is the first time I've actually turned the camera on for no particular reason. That's just the way it's been. As I said on the test ride, finding the weight very much more manageable than the Explorer was. Very much easier to get my feet down as well. We've got the panniers on the back today. We had to do a little modification. We had the Triumph pannier rails fitted, and the cases we've actually got a Jivy Trekker Outback. So I just had to change the top rail over on the pannier rack to make the Jivy panniers fit. Just 4 bolts. It took me probably 20 minutes. And I've got a little mod to do to the sliding carriage, so that I can fit the Jivy Outback top case to the Triumph sliding carriage. That's a job for tomorrow in the garage when it's snowing. Sun's coming out again, so the screen should change shortly. This is the village town of New Romney. It's normally quite busy through here. Today doesn't look like being any different. Traffic lights against us again. Oh well, New Romney wasn't too bad. We're not going to be able to enjoy these bends with this lot in front of us. It's a bummer. And the camper van obviously has to slow down for the slightest little bend. Oh dear me. Please turn left. Well, that one is. cruise control on, 66 miles an hour. We up it a mile an hour, the orange will come onto the rev counter. It's set in running in mode at the moment, so it's informing me that I'm exceeding the manufacturer's recommended rev limit. There we go, look. So we're not going to go into Rye. We're going to turn right at the roundabout, head off on the Ashford Road, back through Ashford, head towards Faversham, I think. So we've already done the Brenley Corner to Dover stretch of the A2 this morning, so we'll avoid that again. Silly fuel prices, as I said, down here. This is busy. And the guy in front wants a 3-week gap before he'll go. Oh, look at it all. Right, go. Dear me, some people. I don't know if there's any point in trying to pass these, as I've got a 65 mile an hour speed limit, but just give it a little burst. Big tanker. I imagine when it's running and we're riding normally, we should get a fuel consumption in the region of 55, something like that. 62 at the moment, but I think 55 ought to be achievable at normal riding speeds. So we've just put the bike in rain mode as it's a little bit damp and wet along here. It doesn't look like it's going to last very long, but yeah, we're back to almost dry again now. But we thought we'd have a little play anyway. And now it's raining.